Hello and welcome to Brushes and Books. Today we'll be painting a figure who reminded me a bit of Hamlet, and so with that we'll be doing a reading from Hamlet Act 1, Scenes 1 and 2. And the figure in question has a hooded cloak with a drawn sword or dagger in a subtle, stealthy pose. I'm assuming it's a ranger or a rogue or some type of lone wanderer. And it is a fantasy vibe, but could be medieval or mythic. And so with that, at about a minute and 30 seconds in, we'll get started with the reading of Hamlet. Thank you. The Tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, by William Shakespeare. Scene 1, Elsinore. Act 1, Scene 1, Elsinore, a platform before the castle. Enter Francisco and Bernardo, two sentinels. Bernardo, who's there? Francisco, nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself. Bernardo, long live the king. Francisco, Bernardo? Bernardo, he. Francisco, you come most carefully upon your hour. Bernardo, 'tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco. Francisco, for this relief much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart. Bernardo, have you had quiet guard? Francisco, not a mouse stirring. Bernardo, well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste. Enter Horatio and Marcellus. Francisco, I think I hear them. Stand, ho! Who is there? Horatio, friends to this ground. Marcellus, and liegemen to the Dane. Francisco, give you good night. Marcellus, O farewell, honest soldier, who hath relieved you? Francisco, Bernardo has my place. Give you good night. Marcellus, hola, Bernardo. Bernardo, say, what, is Horatio there? Horatio, a piece of him. Bernardo, welcome, Horatio, welcome, good Marcellus. Marcellus, what, has this thing appeared again tonight? Bernardo, I have seen nothing. Marcellus, Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him, touching this dreaded sight, twice seen of us. Therefore I have entreated him long with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, he may approve our eye and speak to it. Horatio, tush, tush, 'twill not appear. Bernardo, sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears, that are so fortified against our story. What we 2 nights have seen. Horatio, well, sit we down, and let us hear Bernardo speak of this. Bernardo, last night of all, when yon same star that westward from the pole had made his course to illumine that part of heaven, where now it burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating 1. Marcellus, peace, break thee off. Look, where it comes again. Enter Ghost. Bernardo, in the same figure, like the king that's dead. Marcellus, thou art a scholar, speak to it, Horatio. Bernardo, looks it not like the king? Mark it, Horatio. Horatio, most like, it harrows me with fear and wonder. Bernardo, it would be so spoke to. Marcellus, question it, Horatio. Horatio, what art thou that usurpest this time of night together with that fair and warlike form, in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march. By heaven, I charge thee, speak. Marcellus. It is offended. Bernardo. See, it stalks away. Horatio. Stay, speak, speak, I charge thee, speak. Marcellus. 'Tis gone, and will not answer. Bernardo. How now, Horatio, you tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on't? Horatio. Before my God, I might not this believe without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes. Marcellus. Is it not like the king? Horatio. As thou art to thyself, such was the very armor he had on, when he the ambitious Norway combated. So frowned he once, when in an angry parle he smote the sledded Pollux on the ice. 'Tis strange. Marcellus. Thus, twice before, and jump at this dead hour, with martial stalk hath he gone by our watch. Horatio. In what particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state. Marcellus. Good now, sit down and tell me, he that knows, why the same strict and most observant watch so nightly toils the subject of the land, and why such daily cast of brazen cannon and foreign mart for implements of war, why such impress of shipwrights, whose sore task does not divide the Sunday from the week, what might be toward, that this sweaty haste doth make the night joint laborer with the day? Who is it that can inform me? Horatio. That can I, at least the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even but now appeared to us, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway, thereto pricked on by a most emulate pride, darred to the combat in which our valiant Hamlet, for so this side of our known world esteemed him, did slay this Fortinbras, who, by a sealed compact, well ratified by law and heraldry, did forfeit with his life all those his lands which he stood seized of to the conqueror. Again the which a mighty competent was gauged by our king, which had returned to the inheritance of Fortinbras. Had he been vanquisher, as by the same covenant and carriage of the article designed, his fell to Hamlet. Now, sir, young Fortinbras, of unimproved metal, hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway here and there sharked up a list of lawless resolutes, for food and diet to some enterprise, that hath a stomach in it, which is no other, as it doth well appear unto our state, but to recover of us by strong hand, in terms of compulsatory those foresaid lands, so by his father lost. And this, I take it, is the main motive of our preparations, the source of this our watch, and the chief head of this post-haste and rummage in the land. Bernardo. I think it be no other, but in so. Well, may it sort that this portentous figure comes armed through our watch, so like the king, that was and is the question of these wars. Horatio. A mote it is to trouble the mind's eye. In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little ere mightiest Julius fell, the grave stood tenantless, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets, as stars with trains of fire and dews of blood, disasters in the sun, and the moist star upon whose influence Neptune's empire stands, was thick almost to doomsday with eclipse, and even the like precurse of fierce events, as harbingers preceding still the fates, and prologue to the omen coming on, have heaven and earth together demonstrated unto our climatures and countrymen. Re-enter Ghost. But, soft, behold, lo, where it comes again. I'll cross it, though it blast me. Stay, illusion. If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done, that may to thee do ease, and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily for knowing may avoid, O speak. Or if thou hast uphoarded in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of earth, for which, they say, you spirits oft walk in death, speak of it. Stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus. Marcellus, shall I strike at it with my partisan? Horatio, do, if it will not stand. Bernardo, 'tis here. Horatio, 'tis here. Marcellus, 'tis gone. We do it wrong, being so majestical, to offer it the show of violence, for it is as the air, invulnerable, and our vein blows malicious mockery. Bernardo, it was about to speak when the cock crew. Horatio, and then it started like a guilty thing. Upon a fearful summons I have heard. The cock that is the trumpet of the morn doth with his lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the god of day, and at his warning, whether in sea or fire, in earth or air, the extravagant and erring spirit hies to his confine, and of the truth herein this present object made probation. Marcellus, it faded on the crowing of the cock. Some say that ever against the season comes wherein our Saviour's birth is celebrated. The bird of dawning singeth all night long, and then, they say, no spirit dare stir abroad. The nights are wholesome, then no planet strike, no fairy takes, nor witch hath power to charm. So hallowed and so gracious is the time. Horatio, so have I heard, and do in part believe it. But look, the morn in russet mantle clad walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and, by my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life the spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it, as needful in our loves, fitting our duty? Marcellus, let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know where we shall find him most conveniently. Scene 2, Elsinore. A room of state in the castle. Enter Claudius, king of Denmark, Gertrude the queen, Hamlet, Polonius, Laertes, Voltimand, Cornelius, lords and attendant. King, though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with one auspicious and one dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing in delight and dole, taken to wife, nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all our thanks now follows that you know young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death our state to be disjoint and out of frame, colleagued with this dream of his advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father, with all bonds of law, to our most valiant brother. So much for him. Now for ourself, and for this time of meeting, thus much the business is, we have here writ to Norway uncle young Fortinbras, who, impotent and bedrid, scarcely hears of his nephew's purpose to suppress his further gait herein, and in that the levies, the lists, and full proportions are all made out of his subject, and we here dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Voltimand, for bearers of this greeting to old Norway, giving to you no further personal power to business with the king, more than the scope of these dilated articles allow. Farewell, and let your haste commend your duty. Cornelius and Voltimand. In that and all things we will show our duty. When in doubt, heartily farewell, King. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane, and lose your voice. What wouldst thou beg, Laertes, that shall not be my offer, not to thy asking? The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. Why wouldst thou have? What wouldst thou have, Laertes? Laertes, dread my lord, your leave and favour to return to France, from whence, though willingly I came to Denmark, to show my duty in your coronation. Yet now I must confess, that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon. King, have you your father's leave? What says Polonius? Polonius, he hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laboursome petition, and at last upon his will I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go. King, take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son. Hamlet, a little more kin and less than kind. King, how is it that the clouds still hang on you? Hamlet, not so, my lord, I am too much in the sun. Queen, good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity. Hamlet, ay, madam, it is common. Queen, if it be, why seems it so particular with thee? Hamlet, seems, madam? Nay, it is, I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, no, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected habeur of the visage, together with all forms, moods, and shows of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show, these but the trappings and the suits of woe. King, 'tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow, but to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled, for what we know must be and is as common as any the most vulgar thing to sense. Why should we in our peevish opposition take it to heart? Fie, 'tis a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, to reason most absurd, whose common theme is death of fathers, and who still hath cried, from the first course till that he died today. This must be so. We pray you throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of your father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son. Do I impart toward you, for your intent is going back to school in Wittenberg. It is most retrograde in our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son. Queen, let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg. Hamlet, I shall in all my best obey you, madam. King, why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark, madam. Come, this gentle, unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart, in grace whereof no jocund health that Denmark drinks today, but the great cannon to the clouds shall tell, and the king rouse the heaven, shall bruit again, re-speaking earthly thunder, come away. Hamlet. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. O God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it, oh fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2, so excellent a king. That was to this, Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not between the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember. Why, she would hang on him, as if increase of appetite had grown, by what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me not think on it. Frailty thy name is, woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears. Why she, even she, O God, a beast that wants discourse of reason, would have mourned longer, married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules, within a month. Ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. O most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue. Enter Horatio, Marcellus, and Bernardo. Horatio. Hail to your lordship. Hamlet. I am glad to see you well, Horatio, or I do forget myself. Horatio. The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever. Hamlet. Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. And what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus? Marcellus. My good lord. Hamlet. I am very glad to see you. Good even, sir. But what in faith make you from Wittenberg? Horatio. A truant disposition, my lord. Hamlet. I would not hear your enemy say so, nor shall you do my ear that violence to make it truster of your own report. Again yourself, I know you are no truant, but what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart. Horatio. My lord, I came to see your father's funeral. Hamlet. I prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding. Horatio. Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon. Hamlet. Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio. My father. Methinks I see my father. Horatio. Where, my lord? Hamlet. In my mind's eye, Horatio. Horatio. I saw him once. He was a goodly king. Hamlet. He was a man. Take him for all and all. I shall not look upon his like again. Horatio. My lord, I think I saw him yesternight. Hamlet. Saw? Who? Horatio. My lord, the king, your father. Hamlet. The king, my father? Horatio. Season your admiration for a while with an attent ear. Till I may deliver upon the witness of these good gentlemen this marvel to you. Hamlet. For God's love, let me hear. Horatio. 2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch, in the dead waste, in middle of the night, been thus encountered a figure like your father, armed at point exactly capape, appears before them, and with solemn march goes slow and stately by them. Thrice he walked, by their oppressed and fear-surprised eyes, within his truncheon's length, whilst they, distilled almost to jelly with the act of fear, stand dumb and speak not to him. Thus this to me in dreadful secrecy impart they did, and I with them the 3rd night kept the watch, where as they had delivered both in time, form, and the thing, each word made true and good, the operation comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more alike. Hamlet. But where was this? Marcellus. My lord, upon the platform where we watch. Hamlet. Did you speak to it? Did you not speak to it? Horatio. My lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to to motion, like as it would speak. But even then the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound it shrunk in haste away, and vanished from our sight. Hamlet. 'Tis very strange. Horatio. As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true, and we did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it. Hamlet. Indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight? Marcellus and Bernardo. We do, my lord. Hamlet. Armed, say you? Both. Armed, my lord. Hamlet. From top to toe? Both. My lord, from head to foot. Hamlet. Then saw you not his face? Horatio. Oh, yes, my lord, he wore his beaver up. Hamlet. What, looked he frowningly? Horatio. A countenance more in sorrow than in anger. Hamlet. Pale or red? Horatio. Nay, very pale. Hamlet. And fixed his eyes upon you? Horatio. Most constantly. Hamlet. I would I had been there. Horatio. It would have much amazed you. Hamlet. Very like. Stated long? Horatio. Well, one with moderate haste might tell 100. Marcellus and Bernardo. Longer. Horatio. Not when I saw it. Hamlet. Here his beard was grizzled, no? Horatio. It was, as I have seen it in his life, a sable silvered. Hamlet. I will watch it tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again. Horatio. I warrant you it will. Hamlet. If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it. Though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace, I pray you all, if you have hitherto concealed the sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. And whatsoever else shall hap tonight, give it an understanding but no tongue. I will requite your loves. So fare ye well upon the platform. 'Twixt 11 and 12 I'll visit you. All. Our duty to your honor. Hamlet. My loves is mine to you. Farewell. Exeunt Horatio, Marcellus, and Bernardo. My father's spirit in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play with the night were come. Till then sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.